Hey there, it's Faith Talk Live. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Radcliffe.
Hey, this is really a treat for us. We get to catch these guys together, Ariel and Michael Tyson. They have 6 sons, 1 child on the way. We're not sure if that's boy number 7 or girl number 1. We'll find out, no doubt. But they have put together their first children's book. It's called Jack and the Fantastical Circus. And it is out. It talks about virtue and a lot of other great things. Guys, how are you?
We're doing really good.
Doing great.
Thanks so much for having us.
Awesome.
Yeah,
we appreciate you pulling over and not talking to us while you're driving, because that could be dangerous. We wouldn't want that. To happen.
We've talked to a number of people in cars, and sometimes it's almost like the show Comedian Cars, right? We get a chance to talk to folks in cars. So thanks for stopping. Hopefully you're not at a stoplight, and you're there on the side of the road. Let's talk a little bit about your book. All right. So you have 6 boys, which is a whole nother book, right?
Yeah.
So
That's true.
Why did you guys decide to write this book at this time, and what's it all about?
You want to start?
Yeah. Well, we decided to write it at this time because that's when the publisher reached out to us. Ariel self-published a book 4 years ago this month. And the process of writing a book with a publisher has been amazing. Our publisher, Good and True Media, they've just been phenomenal to work with. So helpful. They gave us such freedom, but also gave us all the support that we needed. And Ariel and I have always wanted to write a book together. Like I said, Ariel's already published a book, and I have some frameworks of some books that I'm stewing on. But it's one thing to want to write a book or even start writing a book and then publish a book. There's a big difference. And something interesting is Ariel released her last book right at the same time that one of our kids were born. And now we're releasing this one right at the same time. So we give birth to things all at the same time.
Our twins, our book and our baby.
Yeah, just you get it all out of the way at one time. It's much easier that way, right?
Yeah.
Instead of splitting it up.
Yeah, and we had always talked about doing some kind of children's book or children's devotional together. But we didn't know which we would do first, a book for adults or a book for kids. So when the publisher reached out, we were excited because we're like, well, this is the first one we get to do together.
Now, tell us about you guys. You're church planters and a church planting wife and professor and all this. Tell us about you guys and how you got into writing books.
So we actually we church planted in North Carolina back in 2011, I think, for a couple of years with another couple. And then we moved to Montana and we started a church there. We lived in Montana for 8 years.
Wow.
And our kids, our oldest was 2 when we moved there. So it's the only home he ever knew. And then we just moved to Tennessee in July. So just a couple months ago. And
it's been a huge change moving to Tennessee. I'm not starting a church here. I became the pastor of a very established church. And so it's a huge learning experience for me and in leading a church that existed before I came. And we've had some challenges since we moved. Montana very much became our home, and we could write a book about a lot of things. There's definitely a lot of books, a lot of movies in our life so far, but a few days after we moved here to Tennessee, I went in the hospital with viral meningitis. I was there for 6 days and then was in bed for another 8 weeks. And my cognitive ability took several months. I couldn't remember people's names. And it wasn't because I wasn't trying. It was just, it wasn't sticking in my brain. I told my associate pastor yesterday, I said, I feel like I'm just now getting my groove back. And so that was in July. And so we've had some challenges like that, but just so grateful to be able to serve God in the way that he's asked us to, ministry and in life together, and in hopefully our goal is to be a voice of excitement, joy, and displaying the importance of having a relationship with Jesus on social media and in things like this book and whatever else other opportunities God brings our way.
As far as writing goes and how we got into that, well, like I mentioned, I wrote my first book, and it was really just our life story, the first part of the book, and ministry and church planting, and how we chase after a life of faith rather than just the American dream, and how it's more important to do what God wants us to do rather than to just focus on the American dream and what we can get for ourselves. And then you mentioned professor. I was a college professor for 9 years with Liberty University Online, which was awesome because we took that through several states that we lived in for church planting and ministry. And then I could be a support when Michael was in ministry just to help our family out financially too.
Right.
So
Michael and Ariel Tyson, they are pastors, and they also have a book out. It's a children's book, Jack and the Fantastical Circus, teaching kids the importance specifically about virtue, and quite a large following on Insta and TikTok. You can tell I'm 61 when I call it TikTok.
On the tic-tac.
On the TikTok. I think it $1.8 million on $1.8 million.
Now he's made you rich too. That's awesome.
We're starting a GoFundMe. We're starting a GoFundMe account for the Tysons right now. So 1.8 million viewers on TikTok there, and then 597,000 followers on Insta.
Awesome.
That's beyond normal, isn't it?
Well, we've actually we just hit 1.9 million on TikTok yesterday, I believe.
True. I think it was yesterday.
On Ariel's Instagram, she's almost at 650,000 now.
My gracious!
And then the biggest one of it all is my Instagram, and I'm about 36,000. So let's go!
Go, Michael. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for
tell us what you guys do on TikTok. I'm a TikTok dad, and much to my son's chagrin, I got on TikTok and I made some videos, but I don't have that like followers like that. But what do you guys do on TikTok?
Oh, a little bit of everything, I think. We one of the things I guess we share probably the most is that we obviously have a big family and that they're all boys.
Yeah.
And in the fun videos and exciting things, sharing how much we love having boys and raising them. Let's say that's kind of the main thing, but we do a variety of.
TikTok started out for us as just a fun thing that we could do whatever we want. Instagram is, for Ariel, it's a business. And so it's not as much of just whatever she wants to do all the time. She's got deadlines and stuff like that. And so TikTok started out just as, you know what, we don't really care about how well this performs. Let's just make something funny.
Yeah.
And then we had one specific video that really just exploded. Last time we checked, it was the 37th most liked video of TikTok.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
awesome.
It's right at 200 million views.
Yeah.
Right.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. And what was the video about?
It's just us having 6 boys. That's all.
It really, it says, it starts off with when my wife thinks she might have a girl, and then it's Michael and a line of boys.
Yeah. That's it. It's nothing special.
I'm gonna have to get this TikTok so I can see this thing. Dan, you're gonna have to help me here. Well, let's talk a little bit about the book. Okay, where did you get the idea? Is this something you've been chewing on for a while? This specific Jack and the Fantastical Circus, or how did this all come about?
You want me to start?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
The idea for this book came in a collaboration with our publisher. And how we wrote the book was we actually went to a pastor's retreat, and during all the breaks, we set out in the sun in Arizona and we would say, okay, we've got this character that we came up with for this virtue. What does this scene look like? And I would write separately and she would write, and then we would read it to each other and just, oh, I really like that. You did good on that. And we would just kind of merge each other's plans. So we really did write the book together. The goal of the book is to give an exciting, entertaining book that is promoting people to grow. Mm-hmm. And one of my favorite parts about the book that was really important to me, there's not a word written about it in the book, and that is the value of the dad and the granddad, and how they're really heroes of the book, and how the men in Jack's life are men to be looked up to and respected. And that brings accountability into the dad and the granddad's life. Hey, the expectation for them is, I've got this young man, Jack, that's looking up to me to help instill and grow virtue in his life. And so now I've got to be held accountable to that. And so that was a huge piece for me, is displaying the men in a light that was encouraging and inspiring to fathers who read this book, that the best accountability that they can have is the expectation that they have a responsibility to be somebody honorable that their kids or their grandkids or their nephews can look up to and learn from and grow in virtue if they become more like that person.
Yeah, overall, the underlying tone.
Oh, we lost sound there.
We seem
to. Now you're back. Okay.
There you are.
Sorry, I was
You're good.
getting a phone call.
That's all right.
I was just saying the overall underlying tone of mentorship and how I just think it's awesome that we could incorporate the whole family in, so where everyone would enjoy the book, not just a kid sitting there looking at the pages and reading the book by himself or herself, but that the grandparents and the parents and aunts and uncles and everybody could enjoy it together.
Awesome.
Now, did the book get the seal of approval from all 6 boys?
Yes, they loved it. They loved it. It was fun because we had told them about it, but hadn't ever really read the full book to them until we got the book in our hands.
Yeah.
And so it was more exciting because it had all the illustrations and everything together.
Awesome.
I read it to them for the first time last week.
I think it was a week ago.
Yeah.
That's
Very
cool. Michael and Ariel Tyson, check out the book, and Dan will put up where you can follow them. It's right there on the screen. Guys, we got to take a break. We would love to talk to you after the first of the year. I know baby number 7 will be out. If you have the time and you're up for it, we'd love to connect with you, whether you're in a car or not. We'd love to hang with you. We love your hearts. We love your story. We'd love to talk about church planning and all that you've gone through as well. So much stuff to talk about with you guys. Blessings to you. Have a great Thanksgiving and an amazing Christmas. We
can't wait to find out if it's a boy or a girl. So
Thanks.
I say it's a girl. I'm with Michael.
Okay.
All right. Let's take a break. We'll be back. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
This is Faith Talk Live.